Alright, so I'm here with all these supplements, and you're probably wondering, are you gonna try and sell me supplements? I'm actually gonna try to not sell you supplements. I'm gonna try and convince you not to take a lot of these things, because all of these things are the things when I was at my worst, when I was fatigued, didn't help me at all. And all of these supplements, take a look. This is probably 1/3 of what I took. And I experimented with all these different supplements because I was researching doctors saying that this could help with your fatigue, this could help with your stress, this could help with your burnout. And each one of these categories of these supplements represents a certain phase of research in my life where I was trying to understand, how do I get back my vitality? How do I get back my health? How do I get back my mental health? How do I get back my gut health? It seems like I have food allergies. It seems like my body is falling apart. And so I tried to use these supplements to enhance my mitochondrial health. And so there's so many things that I tried to do with these supplements, and unfortunately not many of them really did anything. And so I had to keep on researching, grueling for a whole year. I was bedbound. I had really nothing else to do. All I was doing was watching Pokemon live streams, trying to pass the time, playing Pokemon Arceus, which is a great game even when I was sick. God bless you, Pokemon, for that game. Oh my god. The music even just brings me back and just gives me relief. But in the rest of the time, I was just trying to research and read and listen to podcasts, hundreds of podcasts, trying to understand how to heal and beat everything wrong that was happening with my body, mainly fatigue, digestion, anxiety, stress, all kinds of mental health problems. And so I want to go through all of these different categories and just explain what the thought behind it was and why you shouldn't necessarily forego them, but you shouldn't necessarily depend on them. All I'm going to do is share my experience, because what happened was I tried all of these guys. And for many, many months, I spent hundreds of dollars, probably thousands of dollars on all these different supplements. And alone, none of them did anything. And I literally spent a good year and a half being bedbound, not being able to exercise, not being able to go out and socialize, isolating, worrying about money, worrying about my career, worrying about my health, and basically just feeling lost and forsaken. And it was really, really bad, because not only did I lose my ability to work, I couldn't work. I tried to work, but all my clients just felt like something was off and they didn't want to have me back. I actually lost some relationships because they just felt like I lost it. So that hurt. And I was trying to study for other careers. I wanted to make a career switch because I thought maybe I was going to be like this forever. People were saying chronic fatigue, you can't heal it. People were saying long COVID, you can't heal it. Just horrible things. Like, saw stories about people having chronic fatigue for over 5 to 10 years, 20 years. I'm thinking, this is not good. And mind you, I was hearing all that positive stuff too, about brain retraining and people recovering, but I still had this little worm in my mind where I was like, I don't know. I feel like I'm not positive enough. I feel like I have a worse case than other people. I feel like they can do it, but I can't. And so I was preparing for the worst. I was trying to study IT. I got a job at Whole Foods, and I only lasted 2 days because I couldn't push the carts. I was just too fatigued. I felt dizzy, nauseous, weak. It was just horrible. Like, my personality was like 100,000 times less charismatic. Like, just completely just like a sloth. Like, you're just completely just very retarded. You're just very, like, literally, you're just like, you just can't function. And so it was horrible, and it went on like that. And the shame, because I wanted to be a healer my whole life, and now I couldn't heal myself. All these 15 years in the fitness industry, all my knowledge about herbs and health, and all my walking, all my calisthenics, I used to be so robust and healthy. and energized, and like a picture to my friends of like vitality and fitness. You can see my videos. I would do backflips and I would do these amazing calisthenics. And all of a sudden, I'm reaching out to my friends for moral support. I'm just thinking, man, I'm not where I used to be. And they didn't know what to do with me. I didn't know what to do with me. And so I was in that place, just externally struggling, internally struggling, having darker and darker thoughts come to me. Nobody knew what to do. Everyone was saying, try acupuncture. You should try these antacid drugs. It'll fix your gut. You just have like too much acid in your stomach. Or people saying you should go see a gastroenterologist, where I already was spending my life savings, and then I was looking up how much that would be. It would be like $3,000 per scan, and I already did like thousands of dollars of blood work and seeing doctors and checking out my gut for parasites. I mean, all kinds of stuff. Like, I was checking out my gut for parasites. I thought, because every time I ate, I had fatigue, so I'm taking wormwood, I'm taking black walnut, I'm taking, I have a lot of stuff over here for detox. See, this is all for gut health. I had way more than this. Slippery elm, bromelain, digestive enzyme complex, because I could hardly digest food. All of this, this was for trying to reset my nervous system. I thought I had like food allergies, so I was taking butterbur, which has like antihistamine effect on your body. Gimmicky sylvester, it's a funny name. Kava, it's supposed to calm your nervous system, so I was doing kava. I had all of these detox. I had charcoal, resveratrol, CoQ10. Everyone in the long COVID community was saying to take all this stuff. Strengthening my gallbladder for detox, glutathione, NAD+. And then you have all the vitamins over here, where it was like, well, you might just need some vitamin B1. You might have mineral deficiencies. You might have vitamin deficiencies. So I was buying all kinds of vitamins. This isn't even half of it, guys. B complex, K and D3, boron, multivitamin, choline. I was taking magnesium, zinc. I was taking the Brazil nuts. None of that really made a difference. I thought I had a problem with my mitochondria, and so I was doing serapeptase. I was doing methylene blue, which is supposed to boost the cells in the mitochondria. I was even taking DHEA, which is supposed to boost your hormones. So I was looking at the testosterone and thyroid, and I was just trying to understand how to get my body out of the cell danger response, where the mitochondria start acting down-regulated like a turtle to save energy. And so I thought, maybe that's what's wrong. So methylene blue is actually a dye. It's actually really interesting if you research methylene blue, but it's literally blue dye. And I researched the hell out of this because this is really super interesting what people were able to actually cure with methylene blue. But I was drinking this blue dye. It would make my tongue blue all day long. This didn't really help me at all. And this was like, these little things are like 30, 40, 50 bucks. And this was the cheap end, but this is like pharmaceutical grade. I was spending money, guys. And this all takes time, and I was getting discouraged. I mean, I get so discouraged. You research for a couple hours, you pay the money, you try it for a couple weeks, and it fails. It doesn't do anything. I was so discouraged, but you had to keep on going on. I was in this mode for over a year. And so I was trying L-arginine for cognition. Over here, I thought I had mold illness, which I probably did because I lived in a moldy house. So I was doing all different kinds of anti-mold. I had so much more than this. This is just a little representation. Powerful oil of oregano, thyme. What is this? This is Chinese skullcap. This says all kinds of different things. Oregon grape. I was researching all these herbs for that whole time, but that didn't really help either. I didn't understand, why isn't any of this helping? This represents over here my mushroom phase. Looked into Paul Stamets, started understanding mushrooms and how they can heal a lot of different things, your immune system, So I bought hundreds of dollars of these tinctures. I got the Stamets stack. I was experimenting with even other kinds of mushrooms, you know. Heard a lot of people talking about mushrooms, guys. And that actually helped a little bit because it did reset the nervous system in the brain a little bit. So those medicinal mushrooms were actually in low doses, really, like in very low doses, like micro doses. That was very, very helpful. But I didn't want to depend on it. So out of all of these things, that was probably the thing that kind of helped me. Probably mentally more than anything, because I was in such a dark place, just constantly feeling defeated, constantly feeling shame, constantly feeling like I had nothing going in my life. I just felt completely lost, abandoned, bereft, isolated, with no hope of being able to like socialize or have fun, because I just always internally felt empty and fatigued and tired and just useless, just miserable. Like, you can't even imagine. Maybe you can, maybe you're in that same place, but I mean, the fatigue was just so obnoxiously pervasive. It's hard to even explain. It was like this sinking feeling constantly over your entire energy field, your body. It's like you were concrete and you were depression. Like, it's just so hard to explain to anybody, but maybe you understand if you're dealing with chronic fatigue, if you need back your vitality, if you're dealing with gut issues, constant IBS, maybe you have Crohn's, maybe you do know what I'm talking about. And it's just such a weird place to be in when you're trying all these things and the doctors are telling you different things and nobody knows exactly what's going on, and all anybody wants to do is run like $5,000 scans on you where you already spent all this money on all these other things. And everybody's just throwing out guesswork. It's very destabilizing for your mind because they're basically just saying, hey, try this $3,000 cure, it might help you. Well, what are the percentages that it might help me? I don't know. We gotta try it. And you're just desperate, so you do. But it's demoralizing. Didn't even show you my probiotic stack. This is all probiotics, prebiotics, mood probiotics, testosterone and gut health probiotics, Dr. Mercola probiotics, immunity probiotics. I was making my own yogurt for months with Dr. William Davis's idea that you can make trillions of colonies in your gut and just, it's fermenting, it's increasing the colony count. That didn't really help that much. So what happened, guys, is I got to the point where I didn't want to try just these supplements and herbs and medicines alone, but I started doing things together, right? So I kind of felt like there was probably more than one thing wrong. So it's kind of like I thought of myself like a car. Well, maybe not just the engine is bad, maybe other things are going bad too. So maybe I have to fix everything at the same time. So then I was thinking, all right, well, everyone's saying you have to recover your nervous system and your brain. You have to retrain your brain and your nervous system so that you can heal and not just be constantly in fight or flight. And that includes being more positive too, right? And so I was like, okay, well, I understand that I need to do that. And then, you have, the reason I have this empty mason jar here is because this for me represents fasting. I heard a lot of people talking about fasting, and they're saying, if you do a fast, this can cleanse potential viruses, fungus, mold, bacteria out of your gut. And your nervous system can actually reset its immune system. So go ahead and do like some 3-day fast, some 5-day fast. Well, I was doing that too. It alone did not heal me. As powerful as fasting was, and I know a lot of people in chronic fatigue, fasting tremendously helps them, and it's a huge part of the puzzle. Now, don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying that these things are not pieces of the puzzle. These are all pieces of the puzzle, potentially. What I am getting to is that they're all pieces of the puzzle, and you need them all together. I'm not saying that they're not worth it. I'm saying you have to get insight on what your particular problem is and piece them all together. And so I started to understand the main puzzle pieces. the main puzzle pieces were you have to calm the nervous system. So I was thinking, okay, I have to do some kind of meditation, brain retraining, something like this. All right, that's the first pillar. Second pillar is, well, something feels off with my body. So I have to cleanse something. That's the whole reason for like all the anti-parasitical, all the probiotics. It's like you want to clean everything out in case if you have fungus, parasites, bacteria, viruses, right? So you have to clean your body too, and I knew that I needed to. So I'm thinking, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't give up on the fasting. Obviously, I'm not going to give up on like eating healthy, even though I did have moments where I was just like, screw it, like I'm just gonna eat and just give up. I'm just gonna become a fat ass. Like I literally had a moment where I was like, just gonna become a fat ass. I would just roast a huge tray of pecans and eat all the pecans and not give a crap and just be a fat ass and just watch video games. I literally just said to myself, I give up. Like, at least I want to have a little bit of pleasure in my life. And the only pleasure I can find is the lowest grade pleasure is just eating. I'm just going to eat and die. Like, I literally could not enjoy life in any other way. So I would just eat, and yeah, it was guilty eating, but so I gained a lot of weight. And so I knew I needed the detox. I knew that there was something there, you know, like that was not smart that I did that. Just like all the binge eating that I did and all the emotional eating. And so I was like, okay, I gotta detox and I gotta fix my brain, right? Or chronologically, I was like, I gotta fix my brain and my nervous system. I gotta detox. And I also knew that I had to fix really like my energy. And so I was thinking, man, I used to do so much yoga and I understood how like the energy system that just feeds all the organs, like your nervous system, has to be like empowered, because I just felt like so like run down, right? Like I kind of thought of it like this. You know how some people, they just have such high energy that they only need like 6 hours of sleep. They're always like go go go. You can hear it in their voice. They're just like inspired, like they just glow. Entrepreneurs and Gary Vee and Tony Robbins and little kids and like pastors of churches and people who just like are leaders. They just have this like good energy. So that's what I mean by good energy. And so I knew I needed to enhance my energy. I used to do yoga. I remember what it felt to do the yoga and to feel charged up and to feel the smooth, non-stressful energy just flowing. And so I said, I think I get it. I think I get it. I have to calm my nervous system and retrain my brain. I have to detox and fix my body. And I need to pump up my energy again. I started to understand the whole reason why I was doing all of these things was just to accomplish those goals. You know, people talk about like mushrooms and stuff. Well, what is that? That's resetting your nervous system. When you're talking about doing all these herbs that clear away parasites, what is that? You're fixing the body. When you're talking about methylene blue and mitochondria, you're fixing the body. When you're talking about giving it all the nutrients it needs, you're fixing the body. But none of these things can really pump up your energy, like doing the hatha yoga and the breath work and the kriya yoga. And so I said, all right, well, I gotta get back into my yoga. I gotta get back into my group. So meditating alone was torture. I could hardly sit there. It would just be torturous. Sit there for 20 minutes a day, because all the demonic thoughts in my head would just come upon me. I felt like I needed to distract myself with the phone. I was desperate. And so just doing like the alternate nostril breathing combined with Om chanting and meditation, it was hard. It was so hard. And I couldn't even imagine getting myself to do hatha yoga, because I was imagining doing something like fast and long and uncomfortable and my stomach hurt. And so I was like, this is hard. This is really hard. But then I saw some YouTube channels like this guy Rob. I'll link his channel below. He's a beautiful person. He was a nurse who had chronic fatigue, and he got out of it, and he would combine the brain retraining with the yoga, the hatha yoga, just very gentle movements, and he recommended it, and I was like, all right, I should probably try that. I should probably get into that. It's just getting myself to do it, getting myself to the point where I have inspiration, the motivation, and the hope to overcome the demon hordes in my mind that were saying, it's not gonna work, nothing works, it's not worth it, you can't do it, just eat and watch all this garbage on the computer. And it was so hard to break myself out of that until I just realized, like, I'm going down. I need a lifeline. And so I got myself to go to, I call it like yoga church, where it was a full moon night to honor the guru. We call it Guru Purnima. This is actually, ironically, almost like a year anniversary since then. And so all the yogis and meditators meet up at a temple, and they play devotional music, and it's call and response kirtan. I actually just learned that they do this in Catholic Mass too. And so the thing with that is I was so anxious. I didn't want to be around people. I didn't want them to see that I gained weight. I was fat. I was different. I didn't have good energy. I felt ugly. I had acne. And all these things were the real struggles that were happening in my mind. And let alone the whole idea of like, well, is it even gonna help? Just stay home, it's easier. Just meditate at home. What's the point in driving 40 minutes to go be with these people? You don't want to be with them, why are you gonna go? But I just had to keep on pushing against those demonic thoughts. It was like a storm was raging in the landscape of my mind, and I had to just see through it and keep on going and push through using my intuition. I was determined to survive. I was determined to actually do something more, or else I knew I was going down. I was in such a dark place, and all I knew was to take one step forward. That's all I could do. And so I get there, I'm shy, I don't really socialize, but soon enough we're all just sitting down and we meditate for 20 minutes. Oddly enough, I felt pretty good being around other people in the temple. Something about the space and the energy and being with people was calming. And then we start doing the kirtan, the call and response singing, and I hear the harmonium, and I hear the drums, and I hear everybody singing, and I remember the inspiration that I had, because what the guru does is he inspires you of who you can become. And I started to remember all the hopes that I had, and I started to actually feel it. There's something strange about music. In yoga, we actually call it mantra, kirtan, but it's nada yoga. It's the yoga of sound, and how sound has a profound influence on your energy. And I started to feel that influence. It was reawakening images and feelings and imaginations and hopes and dreams in me. I was feeling it again. And I felt this emotional release coming over me. I felt my body getting lighter. I felt my brain feeling like it was getting lit up with light. And I just felt tears coming down. I just felt, oh my God, for so long, for this past year, I have not felt good. And I'm finally feeling good. And I was just releasing so much emotional stress. I was just releasing so much suffering and pain and guilt. My body was purging it. I felt it. I was detoxing my soul. I was detoxing from the body, from the inside out. I was detoxing, just hearing these sounds and using the mantra and using the nada yoga, the sound, in the community setting to really heal. And I was just feeling this presence in my heart of hope again. And I was feeling alive, and I was feeling like, I can't believe it. Like, I actually feel hope. Like, for the first time, that demon voice was just gone. And I felt such profound relief from the negativity, and from the pain, and from the disappointment and frustration, from the rage, how unfair it was to be so sick out of nowhere. I was doing so well, and all the rage and frustration of failing so many things that I tried, and nothing worked, and I was wasting money, and I just wanted to give up. I just wanted to give up and die. But in that moment, that voice died. That voice went away. It was so quiet, and I felt such sweet relief for the first time in months and years. And it was just it was magical. And it kept on getting more and more intense. The longer we went on, we must have sang for a good 30 minutes, and then everyone is up and dancing. And I'm just feeling like, man, I was soaking my shirt. I wasn't sobbing or anything weird like that, but it was just tears of relief. And like, my body is just feeling like, oh my God, like I do want to dance. I do actually want to dance, but I'm kind of feeling shy, and I feel like this little weight of like, but you're kind of depressed. You really want to dance? That's a pretty happy person thing to do. It kind of felt like what my body was telling me. All of a sudden, this guy just comes up, and he's this older guy. He looks at me, and he's dancing around, and he just like kind of motions like, come on. So I'm like, all right, I can't say no to you. I mean, this old guy is dancing. So I get up and I start moving, and everyone's kind of just like doing their little thing, and there's probably like 40 of us. And man, I started to feel so good. I just started to feel so good. We're still doing the call and response and just moving the body, and I just feel like my body just shakes off so much of the negativity. You have no idea. That night, I shook off months of negativity, and it gave me back the feeling of hope. All just from the Nada yoga. And so it also helped me realize how much of the illness and the fatigue was still just in my nervous system and in my brain. And it helped me understand I have to release all these negative emotions. I have to use every tool at my disposal to make everything come together, to work together, like the pieces of the puzzle. It wasn't just one thing. I had this epiphany. Because I remember a story that Sadhguru said. He said there was 4 yogis, and they were all rivals, and they would all practice their meditation in different areas of the jungle. And they would never get together and never see the other person's point of view. And so they only had their one technique. And so they always struggled, thinking that their one technique was the thing that was going to save them. And you see a lot of people the same way when it comes to health. They only have one tool, they only try one thing, whether it's the fasting. They only present one side of the formula, whether it's the herbs or the detoxing, or whether it's the walking and the progressive exercise, or whether it's just the brain retraining. People don't use them all together. And I thought, okay, well, what happens in the story? Well, in the story of the yogis, all of a sudden a monsoon comes, a terrible storm. And so all the yogis in the jungle have to search for this higher shelter. And so they all run unknowingly to the same shelter, and they all take their respective parts in this shelter. And as the monsoon is passing, they meditate there, looking for insight, not knowing that the other people are there. But just because of the fact that they all came together, they all started to share the same sanctuary. They shared the same energy. And because of that, and because they united under a common reason, their energy combined. And that's when they actually had the energy to get super consciousness realization of God. And that's when they got saved. And that is what revealed to them, wow, I was leaving out the other 4 brothers. I was leaving out the other 3 brothers. Once we all came together, even if you do it unconsciously, you attain. So you have to have all the pieces of the puzzle. I started to remember and realize, just put everything together. And so once I actually started putting the 4 ingredients together, the nervous system and brain retraining, the detox, the energy work, and the physical exercise, the progressive, slow physical exercise that calm your nervous system, to help you overcome the stress, and it helps you detox, it helps you recover. Just walking, just slow walking in nature. You know, movement has a vital part to play, pumps your lymph. And so I was just trying one at a time before then, but I left that night and I just had this epiphany, like, the 4 yogis, I have to do everything together. It's not one thing or the other. Just do everything together. And I had the energy to actually do everything together. And I said, I can do it. Because before, I don't know if I had the energy to do all four of those things. I was just so segmented and just trying one thing. Like, I can just try only one thing. Like, I only have so much energy. But that night I left and I just had so much hope, and I thought, I can heal from this. You know, I felt like for so long I was in this dark cave of just utter pitch blackness and hopelessness. But that night I felt like Sadhguru, he punched a hole in that cave and the light shined through. And I looked up into the light and he said, "What the hell are you doing down there? Get out of there." And he throws a rope down. And I thought, oh my God, I have the tools that I need. They're all in yoga. Yoga gives me all of these tools of how to do all four of these aspects to heal. And I can. I just have to remember and implement all these four stages, which real comprehensive yoga gives. You know, yoga is not just doing the physical postures. Yoga is the meditation and the brain retraining. Yoga is the energy work that pumps up your energy system, just like Qigong. Yoga is the physical exercise that helps your body and your organs completely power up and detox and cleanse and get healthier blood. And yoga is the system that helps you understand how to detox, how to cleanse everything out of your system. And so all four of the aspects of healing is included in the yogic system. And so I thought, I already kind of know all this, I remember it, so I just need to get back onto my yoga program. So that same night I went home, I shaved my head, and I looked at myself in the mirror and I said, I'm gonna heal. I'm gonna heal. I had the vision. I knew I was gonna heal. I claimed it right there, and I said, no matter what, I know I can do this. I wrote out my yoga program. I said, this is what I'm gonna do. Every morning, taking the yogic herbs. Every morning, using the oils to clean my system. You know, that's the yogic detox. Then I said, every single morning, meditation, calm the nervous system, brain retraining, doing different yoga visualizations that help my entire subconscious just reprogram and be more positive. So yoga nidra is what we call it. That's kind of like the Silva method. That's kind of like the Gupta program. All these are just to retrain your nervous system, reprogram your subconscious mind. And so I had the detox going. I had the brain retraining meditation going. And then I said, I'm going to do some hatha yoga. I'm going to pump up the energy system. I'm going to fix the physical body. I'm going to do the yogic system of just like sun salutations, very light, very slow, work on my breathing. And so I had this program. I knew exactly what to do. I had the four pieces of the puzzle. And I knew that it would help me. And I knew that I could recover now that I actually had hope. Now, of course, I'm still eating according to Ayurveda. I'm following the rules a lot better, because before I would overeat nuts and I would eat before night, and I was eating hard to digest foods and bad food combinations because remember I just said screw it. So I had to get back onto that, which yoga and Ayurveda also teach you. So I just had hope in this complete system again. And I said, I'm going to get back my vitality. Because I understood what it did. I understood that this will fix my nervous system. This will fix my organs. You know, the detoxing, the hatha yoga, the energizing. It's going to fix my organs. And then that's going to fix my hormones. And when my nervous system, organs, and hormones return back to normal, of course I'm going to be healthy. It's like taking steroids. You get your hormones back online, your thyroid, your growth hormone, your testosterone, your cortisol and your stress levels are back to normal, your melatonin, so you can sleep good. You know, I had disrupted sleep too, which was just horrible. A lot of people with chronic fatigue actually have that. What about your social hormones? The dopamine makes you want to go out and accomplish. You know, I had to just fix all these hormones. What about your GABA? What about your oxytocin that keep you calm and feeling like you like being around people? I knew I had to just fix my hormones, because hormones, like the yogis say, you're just a mixture, you're a chemical soup of all these hormones. And if you change the hormones, whether it's brain hormones, metabolic hormones, energizing hormones, you change everything about your body. Even digestion is just enzymes and chemicals and hormones. And so instead of taking them from pills that aren't really that effective, I was just teaching my body how to create them better. That's what yoga does. So that's why I had so much faith in yoga. And, I still had misconceptions and reservations about doing the yoga because I was thinking, am I really going to be able to do it? It's going to take too much time. Hatha yoga is too hard. I'm feeling too lazy. The meditation is going to be too boring and too grueling. Like I cannot sit. I just feel like my mind tortures me when I sit. And then I was like, can I really fast? I don't know if I can really fast. So I had all these hang-ups and all these reservations and objections about it. But what I did was, I still remember watching a lot of these chronic fatigue channels, and they said, you just have to start small. You have to just start with one small baby step. Jim Quick actually says that too. Small, realistic baby steps, he calls it. And so, thank God I was listening to these inspirational people, and they were saying stuff that made everything click. So instead of thinking I have to do 20 minutes of all that stuff, I'm just thinking, well, can I take herbs in the morning? Yes, that's easy. I'll do that, at least 1 minute. Can I do a 3-minute meditation? Yeah, I can do that. Can I listen to affirmations for like 1 minute? Yeah, I can do that. Can I do 5 minutes of hatha yoga, just stretching? Yeah, I can do that. Can I do 5 minutes of just like sitting and visualizing and calming my nervous system and imagining a good result from my hatha yoga, imagining and feeling that good result from this day of detoxing, imagining the good result of eating appropriate sized meals and seeing myself recover? Can I do that for 3 to 5 minutes? Yeah, I can. So I just chopped it up and I just wrote it out and I just spaced it out. So every hour or two, I'd just be doing one of these 3 to 5 minute practices. And I started making progress just by spacing it out and doing these 3 to 5 minute practices. I was calming up my nervous system. I was detoxing. All these little habits just started to add up. I was doing a little bit of energizing, the hatha yoga. I was just going on little walks. And then I just come back and meditate and calm myself down, think, I didn't overdo it, I'm gonna be okay. And just time and time again, I started to get a little bit better. And it was kind of like my progress was a zigzag. You feel better, and then the next day you feel like, it's like a recovery period. They call it an adjustment period. To where, you have this scale, and if you zoom out enough, you're getting better over time, but you have to just realize it's kind of like the stock market. You're going to feel a little bit up and a little bit down. That's just the nature of things. Recovery is a messy process as you detox, as you heal, as you calm your nervous system. There's going to be challenges in your mind. There's going to be doubts in your brain. There's going to be negative thoughts that come up, and you have to just continuously keep the same faith and the same foundation. And so with all of that understanding of the theory and the framework of how to get better, there was still a lot of challenges, but I could see little bits of progress over the weeks and the months, to where I wasn't bedbound anymore. I was able to get up and go on walks even if I didn't feel good about it. I was able to think much more clearly. My digestion wasn't as clogged up. I could eat and not feel as tired. My skin started to clear up, and I started to feel like my face wasn't as fat. I wasn't counting calories or anything like that, but naturally my body was just responding well, and it took weeks to actually see it. Well, every single month I felt better, and it got to the point where I was actually able to go out, find continuing education programs, start meeting people, getting more social. And I did have more gut issues that actually cropped up later, probably from the whole year and a half of just being depressed and anxious, where recovery is strange. You start giving your body room to heal, and all of a sudden it realizes, all right, well, if you're giving me room and energy to heal, then let me show you what we have to heal, and we can get to work. And then you're like, it's actually getting kind of worse. And so that's actually a syndrome where when you're in this shock and trauma for so long, Your body's not trying to heal. It's not time yet. It doesn't have the resources. So you don't feel the symptoms yet. And then when you start to get better, all of a sudden you get hit by something and it seems like, well, I thought I was healing. Well, that's actually your body just saying, well, now we have time to go to construction on this project. And it's going to hurt a little bit, but let me heal it. Right? So if you start healing and then you get adverse symptoms somewhere else, skin issues, gut problems, worse brain fog, aches and pains in your body, old injuries acting up, you're getting sick more often, hold on, hang in there. Your body's healing. It's a very interesting process. You have to just keep the faith. Don't go by your feelings. I had to constantly remind myself. I was constantly getting information from all of these people who have gone through chronic fatigue, long COVID, mold illness, vaccine injury. We have very similar stories. Everybody goes through a very different healing process. But I was listening and reading about so many of these healing stories, and that's what kept me having hope. You have to keep on having hope. You have to keep that hope alive, like my history teacher in high school would say. Isn't that crazy that I still remember that? Keep hope alive. That's what he would say. And I would say that to myself, keep hope alive. You know, I studied positive affirmations and self-healing through the subconscious mind, like Emile Coué. Every day and every way, I'm getting better and better. I would just mantra chant that to myself as I'm walking and just feeling tired and kind of discouraged and depressed. No, every day and every way, I'm getting better and better. Every day and every way, I'm getting better and better. Just speaking to myself, speaking to my cells, speaking to my immune system, not thinking all those negative thoughts like, I can't believe it's still like this. I can't believe I'm still sick. No. You're not still sick. Every day and every way, I'm getting better and better. I'm on a healing journey. I'm not still sick. I'm on a healing journey. I'm getting better and better. I'm beating this thing. Every day, I'm beating this thing. In every way, I'm beating this thing. Better and better. And I had to keep on saying that for months, guys. For years, I had to keep on saying that. I still say that to myself now. I still say that to myself. And thank God I'm at a place where I've come out of it. I've come completely out of it. I feel so grateful and strong. And it took me many months of overcoming continuous gut issues. The gut issues and the fatigue would still be problems for me over the next year or so. So total, I spent 2 years recovering. And gosh, I experimented with everything. And I gotta say, these 4 pillars that we just talked about, the yoga system combines them all into the perfect package. Those 4 is really what saved my life. And only when I integrated them all and understood them all and practiced them all and stuck with them all. You know, a bonus one that I could tack it on is community mentorship. If it wasn't for all those people reminding me time and time and time again, keep hope alive, swat away those negative thoughts. It's just an adjustment period. Don't worry about the symptoms. Don't worry and pay attention to the symptoms. Ignore the symptoms. You can adjust how hard you're going, but don't think that it means that you're getting worse. If I didn't have that, my hope would not have stayed alive. And that anxiety can trigger the nervous system to go back into fight or flight, and then it can bring you back down. And I felt that happening as I tried to recover more and more. Maybe for you, it's a little bit of frustration or anger will come up. Don't let it overwhelm you. Don't judge it, but don't think it defines you, and don't run with it. Give it a gentle counter nudge. Every day and every way, I'm getting better and better. I'm not run by these thoughts of sickness. I'm not run by these thoughts of health anxiety. I'm not run by these feelings of desperation and pain. You know, I had many dark nights, many sleepless nights, many times where I called prayer lines and helplines, and I was just saying, I feel like I'm at the end of myself. You know, I had many dark times where I had to talk to friends. I had many, many days where I was just raging and punching my pillow and punching my bed and grunting like Donkey Kong. It was not easy. but you can heal. You gotta just be tougher. You gotta just be more persistent. And you can be. You're a beast. You're still here, okay? You're a beast. You can get through it. Punch your pillow if you have to. But realize underneath this act that your body is just going through, you're releasing all these things. As you're going through all these negative emotions, just watch it. You know it's not you. Just watch it. No, it's not you. You can beat your pillow. You can go through that, man. You can go through the little depression. You can feel discouraged, but no, that's not you. It's not permanent. Everything is impermanent. That's what the Buddha says. Everything is impermanent. Your suffering is impermanent. Your pain is impermanent. It's passing by. It must be. By nature of the laws of the universe, it's impermanent. Don't believe that you're stuck. Don't believe that this is your destiny. Don't believe that you cannot heal. Don't believe that it's unfair. Don't go down that hole. And if you do, just journal about it. You can journal about it. Get all that darkness out. But don't think that you have to be that way. Don't think that that is your destiny. Know that tomorrow's a new day. So many times I would go to bed thinking, I'm done. I'm toast. I can't do this anymore. I'm toast. Just let me die. And I wake up and the next day, let's go. Today's gonna suck. Let's go. I'm gonna embrace it if it sucks. Just embrace it. Let's go. Just go. Just go. That's all you can do. And you wake up and you feel like today's a new day. As shitty as it might be, and as much as I don't want to be alive right now, you get yourself up and you go. And it teaches you resilience. It teaches you the power of your spirit. Because people have gotten back up and continued on during the Holocaust, during wars, during famines. You know, remember Batman. He gets beaten up by Bane and thrown into this dark pit. He's traumatized. There's bats everywhere. He's bleeding. His back is like broken. He gets back up and he learns. He climbs back up. He goes back to his mansion, and for years he has to be rehabbed by Alfred. But Alfred says to him, remember that? Little master, why do you fall? So that you can learn how to pick yourself up again and keep on going. And so just like Batman, he was able to pick himself up, get over his trauma, get over his rage towards Gotham. They betrayed him, that they don't care about him, they're spreading lies about him. You can get back up. You can completely redeem and heal. You can rehab. You can completely heal that heart. You can completely rejuvenate it, reset it, renew it, and revive it. And you can leave behind all of that crust, all of that grime that feels like it's you, it's not you. You can leave it all behind. It just takes time, it takes healing. The healing is a process. But maybe you need an Alfred. I'll be that Alfred. We are each other's Alfred. You know, it's like, thank God for Miguel, CFS Recovery, Raylan Agel. Hope I said your name right. All these channels talking about, oh, Rob the nurse, you guys saved my life, man. With your words and with your life, you saved my life. We're in this together. To have a tribe, to see other people that they survive, that they're thriving, that they beat this thing, man. It's like you hit it on the jaw, guys. You hit it on the jaw. And these guys have great stories too. Miguel, I mean, he was in a wheelchair, atrophy, just like small legs. He was in a psychiatric ward with a doctor, wasting away before his family's very eyes. He recovered completely. He learned these same principles and techniques, passed them on to me, passed them on to hundreds of people. This healing movement is real. And the team of healers are real. This is real. People need healing. People need hope. People need their energy back. People need a community. You got it. We're here. And our stories can't be ignored. People are struggling for so many reasons. Maybe you didn't have the weird chronic fatigue that I had, but maybe you're just feeling like something changed. Maybe you're feeling like you're burnt out. Maybe you had some kind of emotional trauma. Maybe you had a divorce, breakups, drama, people betraying you, financial crisis. And compound that with the toxins that are coming at you in your food and your water. Over the years, you gotta cleanse, you gotta reset, you gotta renew, you gotta be reborn. Don't just keep on trying to force this new wine in an old wineskin. Renew the wineskin, like Christ said. Completely renew yourself. And remember, you do that also with devotion. The Nada yoga and the energizing work that I was talking about, that brain retraining, this comes from devotion. Your desire deep down to become an evolved person, to really know the essence of virtue, to love people more, to be able to reach out and make a bigger difference, to help people in life, to bring more happiness into this world. You have to transform to be able to do that. That's what I realized. In my current state, I was such a wretch. I felt like a goblin. I felt like a golem. I needed to be renewed. And that desire to be renewed and that hope in God, the higher power, to help you do that, that's there. You gotta believe that that's there. If you don't believe that that's there, then that's your truth. But if you believe that there's a force there that can help you transform, then you will, and you can if you seek it out. And you will. And this will end up being something that feels so empty. It feels like it's going to be the end of you. But you're going to find, once you come out of it, you're actually clean. And it was a purging process. The fire of that hell purged you like a crucible. You're going to come out a shining golden Excalibur, powerful being. Powerful warrior with a story that will echo into other people's lives. You are a healer. And this is just a boss stage. And it's not going to take you out. And maybe you were even meant to go through this. And you're going to come out better. And stronger, more resilient, baby. And I'm telling you, the same things that bugged you before, the hellfires that bugged you before, you're going to be so tough after this, you're going to just say, it's nice. Nice little sauna on me. Who's next? What's next? Bring it on. You're going to come out stronger. I didn't believe it when people used to tell me that, but it's true. You can let the suffering and the sorrow purge you. That's what the fires of hell are supposed to do. When Satan tested Job and destroyed his entire life and gave him a disease, guess what? God let him do that. And when Jesus talked to Simon Peter and said, Satan seeks to sift you like wheat, so pray and stay vigilant. Well, Satan's job is to sift the bad from the wheat. And so these hard, hellish circumstances, the fires of hell, are meant to sift you like wheat. God allowed Satan to test Job, and that hellfire purified Job, and everything was restored. You may not be able to see how all this pain and suffering and hellfire has any purpose, but in the end, you'll come out of it better. You'll have everything restored if you don't curse God and die. Don't curse God and die. There's so much beauty waiting for you. There's so much glory waiting for you on the other side. And I can't wait for you to have your moment. Your day is coming, you know? And when you have that moment where you realize you can do this, it's like someone punches that goddamn hole in the cave and throws you a rope and says, get the hell out of there, man. You can do it. That moment is for you, my friend. You can heal. You can heal, man. You can heal from anything, man. You can heal from trauma. You can heal from relationship trauma. You can heal your heart. You can heal from vaccines. You can heal from mold. You can heal from long COVID. You can heal from whatever the hell is tormenting you. You can always adapt and move forward. The power of the human spirit. Think of the Navy SEALs. Think of Helen Keller. Think of David Hawkins. Think of these super survivors. Think of the people who went through World War II. Think about Elie Wiesel. You find your purpose sometimes in the challenges that come your way. And you got what it takes, man. You got this, okay? So, I just want to let you know, I got your back. I got free stuff in the description below that I want you to partake of that'll start helping you heal. Got a 7-day cleanse for you. We'll show you how to cleanse. This is what I did to start to cleanse. Had to use Nada yoga to meditate, had to start calming that nervous system, had to start detoxing, you know, follow the stuff. You know, I got some good teachings out here on Upa Yoga. Start strengthening that energy system, gentle movement, Yoga Nidra, brain retraining, Silva meditation. Just remember the 4 pillars: brain retraining, detox, gentle movement, energization. Got it all here. I want you to know that I care, and I want you to know that this information has been around for thousands of years. You don't gotta spend thousands of dollars on the scans. You don't gotta go into the different scams that people have. No, this is time tested. Thousands of years, millennia, the yogis have been doing this. This is the healing science. This is the healing science. Yoga is a science. Yoga isn't Lululemon. Yoga is the science of life. Yoga has been practiced for thousands of years by billions. You can trust it. You can trust us. With that, just want to say we're healers, and our stories, they echo and they heal society. The way that we live our life, the way that our energy is, saves people's lives. Think of all the people: heart attacks, strokes, diabetes, kidney disease, liver disease, lung disease. Think of all the people. How many people's dad just had a heart attack? How many people are losing people unnecessarily? We're the change. People need this change. People need the wisdom of the yogic sciences. People need the wisdom of the yogic lifestyle. People need this. We need this. The world needs this. Society needs this. That's why I call us the Yogi Jedis. There's a dark side out there, but there's yogis. There's Jedis who are a council together, sent on missions to make a difference. And even if you're fighting right now a dark Sith, just realize the Force is with you. You got this, all right? You're a winner. Healing Society. I'm gonna wrap this video up, guys. Support the channel with a like and a sub. Follow along. This is my life's mission. You know, we're all here to help each other elevate, to revive, to inspire, to heal, to vitalize towards goodness, to transcend this world and all of its sickness and suffering that it can bring. Let's be the Jedis, all right? Get the PDF below. I'll see you in the next video.